So I want to thank everybody for joining us for our December meeting, our last sales meeting of the year. I think we have a lot to cover, and just want to say I'm super excited for not only this year to end. I'm very happy that the year is ending. Uh, I'm done with all the form stuff. I'm done with realtor lawsuits. I'm done with elections. Like 2025 is going to be amazing. So we did so incredible for everything that the realtor organization has been through and what America has been through. Like, we did amazing in 2024 based on the chaos that we all lived through for the past 12 months. So 2025, the key word for me is like certainty. We're moving into a market with some sort of certainty. We don't have to worry about elections. We don't have to worry about, I think there'll still be some form changes. I think there'll be still some fallout from the realtor um the lawsuits, but I don't think it's going to be massive changes. And I mean, 6 months, the first 6 months of the year, basically, we were waiting to find out, like, how are all the rules going to change in this new year? How are we going to navigate? Are people still going to hire buyer agents? Are sellers going to be willing to pay buyer agents? And I feel like there's certainty around that now. So super excited for 2025. And with that, thank you for joining us for the year end. As I always like to remind you, knowledge is not power, execution is power. So since you have taken the time to join us during this very busy holiday season, since you're joining us for an hour, take out a pen and paper, take some notes, because we're going to be covering a few cool things throughout today's program. So first of all, I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows when our holiday parties are for each of our marketplaces. We had some super challenges in organizing events this year, and a lot of that has to do with the very short time span between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And not only that, every single realtor board does their installations in December. And did I mention we're a member of, like, I don't know, 15 realtor boards? So we're trying to like get to all the realtor installations. We have so many of you that are involved in the realtor organization. So when one of our own is installed, we try to get out to those events, and we've had a lot of you installed. So between those events and the short time span between Thanksgiving and Christmas, it's been a challenge getting everything organized. So first of all, for our Massachusetts, New Hampshire agents, by the way, you guys are all invited to every party. So for example, if you're a New England agent and you're free next Tuesday and you want to come out to the Maine holiday party, by all means, come on. We'd love to have you at any of the parties that you can make it to. And it's great networking. So the Mass New Hampshire party, we did something a little different this year. Instead of just a typical luncheon this year, we bought 300 tickets to a Charlie Brown Christmas live on stage, Lowell Memorial Auditorium. That's taking place December 13th, this Friday night from 6 to 9 p.m. And families are invited. So bring your kids, grandchildren, nieces, nephews. You could scan the QR code if you have not already signed up for this event, but we've made it super special because we know that you're bringing your families with you. So we got some really cool stuff. It's more when you get to the venue, make sure you tell them you're with LAER. They're going to send you over to a special area where we have food and drinks and stuff like that. So that's this Friday night, 6 to 9 p.m. Looking forward to seeing you all there. Next, our main party is Tuesday, December 17th. We're doing a luncheon from 12 to 3 at Pepper's Landing in Brunswick, Maine. We tried to pick a location that was in between all of the main locations. So unfortunately, because it's in between everybody, it's a drive for everybody. So I apologize for that, but I look forward to seeing many of you there next Tuesday. This is the QR code for the main party if you can join us next Tuesday. And then as soon as I finish with the main party, I'm going to hop on a plane and I am heading to Florida to celebrate the holidays with our Florida family members at our Florida event, which is next Wednesday from 6 to 9 p.m. And looking forward to seeing everybody there. If you have not yet signed up for that party, you can scan this QR code and sign up. Also, some of you have already received some of these, but we have some really cool Our Team Slays t-shirts. This is the free giveaway for joining us today. So if you have not received Our Team Slays, your cool holiday LAER shirt, then scan this QR code, or you can go to laerrealty.com/holiday shirt and just order your shirt. They come in red and green, small through 2X. Pick your color and pick your size. And if you are a Maine agent, we'll bring it to the party next Tuesday. If you're a Florida agent, we'll either bring it to one of the luncheons or to the holiday party next Wednesday. If you're a New England agent, we will drop it at your whatever office is your office in MLS. We will overnight them to that office. So get your cool Our Team Slays shirt so that you can, while you're dressed in holiday spirit throughout the next couple of weeks, you will also be showing off LAER and Coast to Coast closings on the back. So super excited to have these shirts. Again, it's laerrealty.com/holiday shirt. And reserve your cool LAER holiday shirt for the year. Okay, now let's get into some of our regular announcements. First of all, we have lots of new agents that joined since our last meeting. So I want to welcome Evandra, Ethan, Sophie, Beth Grady. Super excited to have Beth back, returning to Port St. Lucie. Pam Kennedy Lyons is now our official Happy Agent host for our Northborough location. Iris, and then Michael Christopher. Super excited to have all of you join the LAER family. Next, let's take a look at our November numbers. November, we closed 206 transactions plus 36 rentals for a total of $104 million in closings. So not a bad month, considering that we're heading into what, at least in New England, is typically a slow season, although Florida typically starts picking up about this time of year. This is how the numbers translate. We did 159 sales at 86 million in volume. That's for Massachusetts offices. Doesn't necessarily mean it's Massachusetts sales. It could be Mass or New Hampshire typically. So agents based out of Mass offices did 159 sales at 86 million. New Hampshire offices did 18 sales at 6.8 million. Maine, 10 sales at 5 million, and Florida did 19 sales at 6 million. These numbers do not include the rentals. So these are just units sold. Let's take a look at our top agents for each of the markets that we do business in. So, whoops. Going backwards. Okay. So first we have our top 5 November teams by volume for Massachusetts. Congratulations to Silver Key Homes, Team Energy, O'Connell and Company, Button and Company, and the Steve and Doug team. Next, Massachusetts single individual agents by volume. Congratulations to Corey Gracie, John Fallon, Joan Barker, Jackie Essalonis, and Michael Durkin. Top 5 for November for Mass. This is teams by units sold. Congratulations, Team Energy. This is one of our fastest growing teams. I think they're over 20 plus agents now. So congrats to Team Energy, followed by O'Connell and Company, Brian Pereira and Diana Paquette, Silver Key Homes, and the Dashin and Robin team. Top 5 individuals by units. Corey Gracie, Olivia Paris, Joan Barker, John Fallon, and Jackie Essalonis. Next, top 5 New Hampshire agents and teams. So we group everybody together because we have a little bit smaller of an agent base so far in New Hampshire. So top 5 for November, New Hampshire: Platinum Realty Group, the Fulford Group, Sarah Tollefson, Ashley Wright, and the Newman Group. Next, top 5 New Hampshire agents and teams by unit sold: Platinum Realty, Fulford Group, Sarah Tollefson, Ashley Wright, and the Newman Group. Let's take a look at Maine. This is top 5 agents and teams by volume. Number 1, Christopher Valley, followed by Sarah Cotnoir, Jennifer DeFilippe, John Bluen, and Shelley Kilmer. And then top 5 Maine agents and teams by units. We have Christopher Valley, John Bluen, Sarah Cotnoir, Jennifer DeFilippe, and Shelley Kilmer. Congratulations. And then take a look at our Florida, top 10 Florida agents and teams by volume. Congratulations to Maribel, Madison, Chris Cave, Roberto Ferrer, Lindsay Scott, Janet Campbell, Tanya McClendon, Dawn Forrester, the Pedraza team, and Team Rebello. And then congratulations as well to Maribel De La Rocha, Roberto Ferrer, Janet Campbell, Tanya McClendon, Liz Stewart, Madison Beck, Chris Cave, Lindsay Scott, Dawn Forrester, and the Pedraza team. And this one is top 10 by units for Florida. As always, we put out our numbers by top 25, so you will receive an email that'll take you over to our internal company blog where you can download, if you're one of our top individual agents or top teams in any of the markets we are in, or if you're on the top 25 list, you'll find some great social media pieces that you can download and share on social media to share with your sphere of influence about all of the great work that you are doing in what is a little bit slower time of the year. Let's take a look at 2024 versus 2023. So our October 2024 closings, we did 206 closings at 104 million, plus 36 rentals. This time last year, we did a few more closings at 249 sides this time last year at 122 million, plus 38 rentals. So we did slightly more business this time last year. This is for this says October, but this is actually the November stats. In November of last year, we weren't dealing with an election. So I think that there was a big pause in the market for October and November because we were dealing with the election. So next, let's look at our year to date. So our year to date, so far this year, we've closed 2,576 transactions at $1.3 billion. And plus, on top of that, we've done 418 rentals. As well, last year to date, we had closed 2,653 sales at 1.308 billion and 523 rentals. So interestingly, our volume is up slightly by like 1% year over year, and our units are down by about 3%. This is not unusual we went through some numbers last month about what's happening in the overall real estate market. And overall, the numbers are down substantially from last year. So we're super excited that we're maintaining our business. In fact, our volume is up a little bit. Of course, we can't discount the fact that we continue to grow. We keep adding agents and offices. If we hadn't done that, of course, we would have experienced the lower market numbers that are being experienced by all real estate brokerages across the country. So very excited with our numbers. I shared this last month, but wanted to just reiterate that for those of you that felt a challenge this year in doing the business that you did the previous year, and most of you have. Granted, there are some agents that did substantially better this year than last year, but in general, most real estate agents did less real estate business this year than they did last year. Or you feel like you have kept your numbers steady, but you're working so much harder. Well, at the NAR next conference, Chief Economist Lawrence Yun forecasted a 9% increase in home sales for 2025 and 13% increase for 2026, with mortgage rates stabilizing somewhere around 6%. So according to Yoon, the worst of the housing inventory shortage is coming to an end. Mortgage rates are stabilizing and job additions are continuing. He also highlighted the glaring difference in estimated median net worth between homeowners. The median net worth of a homeowner is $415,000, and the median net worth of a renter is $10,000 in 2024. So we help create wealth. Of course, we change the communities that we do business in by bringing in new buyers and helping people sell homes. We have a lasting impact on the lives of the people that we work with. And oftentimes we focus on by bringing somebody to a community that the community and the house we put people in affects their whole life, from where they work, from where they go to school. We influence all that. And one of the things that kind of gets lost in translation is we also influence their wealth in a massive way. So just some stuff to think about as we move into 2025. But I'm very excited. As I said, I think without having so much uncertainty and chaos surrounding us for 2025, we're going to see massive results in general. So we have good things happening. So one of the things I wanted to just talk about for a few minutes is defending your value. One of the things that's been really interesting is since the changes in the forms has happened, through our bookkeeping software, we are able to track whether agents are earning more or less as far as average compensation rate. Are you making more money or are you making less money now that the changes have been in effect since August? And what we're seeing is listing agents' average percent being collected is increasing in a major way. And buyer agents, the amount you are getting paid on a percentage basis is staying the same. So buyer agents are making what they were making prior to the changes in August. Listing agents are making more. So what would cause that? Well, what's really interesting is I was having a conversation with an agent recently who said, I'm having a hard time setting up showings on properties because the listing agent won't call me back and tell me whether the seller is willing to pay a buyer agent commission. So they weren't setting up appointments because they're waiting for a confirmation from a listing agent about whether the seller is willing to pay a fee. And my response to that is, who cares what the seller is offering? In fact, in Massachusetts at least, I know this is not possible in all of the MLSs we do, but in Massachusetts, there are brokerages that are advertising compensation still in MLS. Not all, but some of them are putting a buyer agent compensation into the MLS. I don't think that's a good idea. But also, I don't even like it because I think it creates a limiting belief for the buyer agent that that's what they're going to get paid. And what I said to the agent is, why it doesn't matter what the seller thinks they're going to offer you. We're not sitting here and waiting for the seller to offer us anything. Our job as a strong buyer agent is to write an offer, write a great offer for the seller, and we're going to tell the seller what they're going to pay us. So I wouldn't get stuck in like, hey, what is the seller going to pay me? And then you wait 3 days for an answer from the other agent. By then the property's gone. Doesn't even matter what is being offered in MLS or wherever. Does not matter. Your offer has nothing to do with what a seller is offering for compensation. You're going to ask for what your value is when you are asking for a seller to pay your compensation, buyer agent compensation. So after I was talking to our group at the LAER Leadership Council, and we were talking about how do we better coach our agents. By the way, this is why listing agents are getting paid more too, because great listing agents aren't even trying to figure out the buyer agent compensation, in my opinion, from the beginning. When you go out to the listing, worry about what you're going to get paid as a listing agent, and then let the buyer agent negotiate their piece of it. And many real estate agents are already doing this. And in my opinion, that's why they're getting paid more, because they're not worried about negotiating at this point for what a buyer agent is going to get paid. So they feel very comfortable just asking for their own value. Like, this is what I get paid as a listing agent. Of course, you should let the seller know when offers come in, there's a very high likelihood that the buyer agent, or the buyer, we should say, that the buyer is going to ask for you to pay their buyer agent as well. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Right now, we're worrying about what the listing commission is. And I will tell you, I can see since August, our average percentage list rate is higher than what it was for the first half of the year. So at the Leadership Council, we were having a conversation with some of the agents on there, and I want to thank Sarah Lyman, who said she said there's a way that people can get coached on these kind of things, like, as a buyer agent, how do I defend my compensation? And so with that in mind, thanks to Sarah, I want to introduce you guys to your new real estate sales coach, ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is happy to coach you on all things objections, all these objections that you could possibly overcome. And I want to show you how I got some coaching myself so that you guys could see how easy this is. So GPT said, what can I help you with? I said, will you role play with me, where you are a great real estate agent defending your commission, and I'm a customer questioning the value of an agent? So let's see what ChatGPT says. ChatGPT never says no, by the way. ChatGPT said, of course, let's jump into it. You can kick things off as the customer, and I'll play the real estate agent responding to your questions or concerns. I'm ready when you are. I said, okay, I'll be the buyer. You are the realtor. So got it. Let's begin. You're the buyer and I'm the real estate agent. So, oh, did I cut off my first? Okay, my first question to ChatGPT, I missed putting the question here. Okay. My first question is to ChatGPT was, hey, why do I even need a buyer agent on a transaction? And it said, hey, nice to meet you, happy buyer. I understand where you're coming from, because I said my question was, do I need a buyer? Can I just represent myself? And the answer that ChatGPT said, buying a home's a big deal and it's natural to consider every option. While you can represent yourself, let me explain why having a professional agent like me can make a world of difference. You get access to listings and market insight, negotiation expertise, and managing complex processes from the offer to closing. Buying a home involves contracts, inspections, appraisals, and sometimes even surprises. I'll make sure every step is handled smoothly and I'll protect you from costly mistakes. And then I said, of course, I had to give ChatGPT a hard time. Want to really challenge ChatGPT, see how good of a realtor ChatGPT is. I said, how does a realtor get a better deal for me on a home than I could get myself? And ChatGPT said, that's a great question, happy buyer. Here's how a real estate agent like me can help you get the best possible deal on a home. One, market knowledge. I analyze the trends, the market trends and comparable sales data to ensure we make a strong offer without overpaying. For example, if you know a home has been on the market for a while, we can leverage that to negotiate a lower price or better terms. Two, understanding seller motivations. I'm going to gather insights about the seller's situation. Are they in a hurry to sell? Are there other offers? This can help craft an offer that is attractive to the seller while prioritizing your needs. Three, emotional detachment. Buying a home is emotional and it's easy to get attached. I'm going to help you stay level-headed, ensuring decisions are based on strategy rather than feelings. Four, negotiating beyond price. Price is just one part of the deal. I'm also going to negotiate other terms like closing costs, repairs, and inclusions like adding appliances or furniture to the deal. And five, experience with multiple scenarios. I've seen everything from bidding wars to unique contingencies. I know how to position your offer competitively without overcommitting. If challenges arise, I can navigate them effectively. To put it simply, I can maximize value for you, saving you money, stress, and time. What part of the negotiation process worries you the most? Maybe I can share a specific example of how I've helped past clients. So then I said to ChatGPT, I still don't believe you, ChatGPT. Are there any statistics that prove represented buyers end up better off than unrepresented buyers? And yes, ChatGPT said, there are statistics and studies that suggest represented buyers generally fare better than unrepresented buyers in real estate transactions. Here's some key points. One, buyers often pay less. According to a study by the National Association of Realtors, buyers who work with an agent tend to negotiate better prices compared to those who represent themselves. Agents know how to assess market conditions and ensure buyers are not overpaying. Two, access to off-market deals. Agents often have access to properties not yet listed publicly, such as coming soon or off-market homes. This exclusivity can provide buyers with more options and less competition, potentially resulting in better deals. Three, fewer costly mistakes. A study by the Consumer Federation of America highlights that unrepresented buyers are more likely to make mistakes, such as missing key inspection issues or misunderstanding contract terms. These errors can result in financial losses far greater than any savings from going it alone. Four, negotiation power. Agents are skilled negotiators. Data shows they often secure better terms just beyond just price, including repairs, seller concessions, closing costs, which could save thousands, and then time and stress reduction. While not strictly financial, working with an agent saves significant time and stress. Buyers without such representation spend more time navigating listings, paperwork, and the legalities of the process. Would you feel more confident knowing there's someone in your corner making sure you avoid these pitfalls and maximize the value of your purchase? Okay, definitely not going to let that ChatGPT off too easy. So I got another objection. Why wouldn't I just go to the list agent to buy the house? Wouldn't I get a better deal if I just go to the list agent? Well, ChatGPT says it might seem like going to the listing agent could get you a better deal, but here's why that approach often doesn't work in your favor. One, the listing agent represents the seller. They have a duty to the seller, not to you. Their goal is to get the highest price and the best terms for their client, not to secure the best deal for you. Without your own agent, you may not have anyone looking out for your interests. Two, dual agency conflicts. In some cases, the listing agent can represent both parties, dual agency, but this can limit their ability to advocate for you. They must remain neutral, meaning you lose critical negotiation power and personalized guidance. Three, seller's price advantage. Even if you think you can get a discount by cutting out the buyer's agent commission, sellers rarely lower their price by that full amount. Instead, the listing agent might just keep a larger commission, and the seller still prioritizes their own financial goals. Four, lack of confidentiality. When you work directly with the listing agent, any information you share about your budget, timeline, or motivations could then be used to benefit the seller. Five, negotiation disadvantage. A listing agent's loyalty lies with the seller, so they're not incentivized to negotiate aggressively on your behalf. A buyer's agent can push for repairs, concessions, or price reductions that a listing agent might avoid to protect the seller's position. Then ChatGPT, I could tell, is getting annoyed with all of my objections. So ChatGPT gives me a scenario. Imagine you tell the listing agent, I really love this house and I'm willing to pay full price. They can relay that directly to the seller, weakening your negotiating position. If you had a buyer's agent, they would keep that information private and work to negotiate what is best for you. Okay. All right, I got one more I'm going to throw at ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I'm just going to hire an attorney. Why can't I just get an attorney instead of an agent? Wouldn't I have the advantage of representation without having to pay that realtor fee? Let's see what ChatGPT says. Hiring an attorney for your home purchase instead of a real estate agent is an option, but there are important differences to consider. While attorneys provide legal expertise, they typically don't offer the comprehensive services that a real estate agent does. Here's why working with an agent or both an agent and an attorney can be advantageous. One, again, market knowledge versus legal expertise. An attorney excels in legal matters, reviewing contracts, ensuring compliance, addressing title issues. They don't specialize in evaluating market trends, pricing, or property value. Two, negotiation expertise. Attorneys are skilled negotiators, but usually they focus on the contract terms rather than market-driven price or repair negotiations. Their role tends to be reactive, stepping in only after terms are outlined. Three, access to homes. Attorneys aren't going to show you properties, identify off-market opportunities, or access to MLS-defined listings. Four, cost considerations. Attorneys typically charge hourly or flat fees, which can add up, especially if the transaction becomes complex. Experience in real estate transactions. While attorneys are excellent for legalities, they might lack the experience of day-to-day details of a real estate deal, such as contingency timelines or coordinating with lenders. By the way, then ChatGPT, super smart, says, hey, why don't you get both? Many buyers choose to work with both an agent and an attorney for a balanced approach. I handle the market side, finding the right home, negotiating price, and managing the transaction, while an attorney can ensure the legal documents are airtight. Would you feel more comfortable knowing you can have the best of both worlds without added costs? I'd be happy to partner with an attorney if you prefer. Okay. Next, we go into what if I can't afford a buyer agent? Number one, ChatGPT, very smart, always reminds the client that commission is negotiable. Two, ChatGPT reminds the consumer that they have options to build the commission into a purchase price, either asking the seller to cover the buyer agent fee or adding it onto the purchase price. So it gives two different scenarios. Without representation, it's easy to make expensive errors like overpaying, things like that. I think I cut off a few of those by accident. Yeah, I went from 2 to 5, so I missed the end of those. But it goes on to explain that if they increase if they increase the price to include the compensation, that it's a very minimal adjustment in their monthly payment. It then goes on to say that we'll tailor our strategy to make it work. My role is to maximize your investment while minimizing your risks and costs. Would you like to see a breakdown of how this works for other buyers? By the way, one of the things Sarah mentioned when we were in our call is that if you look at ChatGPT, it has a little voice activation right within the search bar. So she said you can change roles. So you could say, hey, today I'll be the buyer, and you are the real estate agent. And then tomorrow you could say, I'll be the real estate agent, you be the buyer. And you can actually have a dialogue with ChatGPT. You can talk to them as if you are a customer. So I only did one side because we have very limited time, but you can also do it as if you are a seller. And that is how you can use ChatGPT to be your coach. Couple of company updates. As we mentioned last month, we are partnering with Fellow. So at the end of January, if you are in part of the $39 a month tech bundle, you'll have an option that you can use Isact or Fellow. You'll be able to choose which one you want as your CRM. We have some training programs coming up on our calendar for the Fellow program. You'll want to jump on a training program sometime between now and the end of January so that you can make a good decision on that. We have a couple new offices. Number one, I wanted to talk about our new office in Northborough, 293 West Main Street in Northborough, and then also our new Attleboro office, 40 Park Place in Attleboro. With that, Craig, what do we have for updates?
Thanks, Stacy. That was excellent. I'm going to just try to share. The thing about ChatGPT and AI in general, I think a lot of people get so afraid of it, Stacy, and it's really just a tool, right, to ask questions, right? The programming term is queries, right? You ask a question and it provides some pretty compelling answers, actually. It's a great tool out there, definitely.
I would hire ChatGPT as an agent.
What's that?
I would hire ChatGPT as a real estate agent.
Well, me too, because it's free. I
Yeah.
mean, so why not? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought that was a great sequence that you just set up. And right, do it from the opposite side of the scale, right?
100%.
From your a buyer or a seller that doesn't want to hire a
Yeah.
listing agent or
100%.
whatever it is, right? There's a lot of different ways to look at it.
Yep.
All right, so I'm just setting up. I'm trying to make just like you, Stacey. How do we make big concepts simple, right? And I want to highlight that a lot of the work that I do is in this high performance home category, right, Stace? So a lot of people think that that's new construction only, but we're now seeing existing homeowners making improvements to make their home more energy efficient, uh, to attach their car to their home, right? I mean, EV charging stations in my home, and with some cars now, you can get reverse charging cables so that the battery in the car can actually provide that is out of service from the utility grid. So the relationship between our homes and our cars, even the vehicles we drive, are some other things here, features of, more insulation in homes to make it more comfortable. Here's an image. Number one is a ductless mini split happening in America right now in the HVAC world. In the last 3 years now, air source heat pumps, the ductless mini splits, have outsold natural. Now, this year, it looks like in 2024, it's going to be by a 2-to-1 ratio. This transformation is happening right before our eyes. Better windows. Here's a heat pump hot water heater, right? A water heater that is stealing the heat in the basement to actually produce heat for a home. So much more energy efficient, and it say that I own one of these things at 65 pounds. It's never failed in producing water, right? So I just want to highlight this again, Stace, that all of this stuff in this high performance fits into not only new construction, which we're definitely seeing, but also into existing home ownership, right? Homeowners making these changes. We need to be as educated as possible, Stacy, about this new technology, about the new relationship between things, passenger vehicles and our car, and all the to lower the costs of home ownership, making them more efficient. In some states, we're seeing that resilient building improvements, hard against extreme weather events, can lead to lower insurance costs as well, which is becoming a big deal. What you don't see on here is better indoor air quality, improved air quality for home buyers with kids with asthma. You're not seeing solar PV on the rooftop of this home, something that I get calls on 2 or 3 times a week on. So I just want to highlight to our agents, one last time, 2024, that we have a responsibility, Stace, I think, to our clients about understanding this technology, whether you like it or not. It is here, and we need to be able to convey the benefits to those homes. And if you don't feel comfortable with this technology or understand it or against it, I strongly urge that we think out all of the green designated agents that we have at company, Stacy, and maybe think about of the seller and sending that as a referral to another agent in our company that can better serve clients that are doing this kind of. Stacy, I'm going to close with this is the question at the holiday season, which everyone must answer in terms of ability. What is better, the real or the fake Christmas tree? Which one is better? We have a definitive answer, folks. Real is the right way to go. 90% of in China, which I didn't know about, so there's a whole embodied energy piece of this, but also managing forests by cutting down trees is appropriate and way. So, Stacey, I have finally answered everyone's minds.
That's awesome.
Back to you. You got it.
I could see how that could have gone either way.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, good stuff. And I will tell you in 2025, we're going to see changes on the sustainability front because our E&O insurance carriers are telling us like, hey, there's a lot of lawsuits coming down the pike because of agents uneducated about some of the sustainable issues, everything from the effects of climate change to the value of a property that has sustainable features. So super important. I think your goal for everybody on this call should be get your green designation for 2025 if you don't already have it, because at least you will no longer be a liability to yourself by getting that designation.
And the next time I teach it locally is June 17th and 18th at Greater Boston Association of Realtors. So put that on your calendars now. And I'm waiting for an invite from Farah to teach it in Florida at some point. I'm looking at my email every day from Farah to see if there's an opportunity to teach it down there.
It's an open invite. You come and we
Yeah.
will make it happen around you.
All right, next up, we have Farah giving us an update on stuff happening in Florida and training.
I'm glad. Yes, Stacey, if you could share. Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Wonderful. Hi, everybody. I'm Farah Belizario. I'm the Regional Director of Agent Services here in Florida. And here are some of our announcements for Florida for the month of December.
By the way, are you sitting in our beautiful West Palm Beach office?
I am. It's beautifully decorated, and I got a painting of the LAER logo over my fireplace in the back. So it's fantastic. Wonderful. To start out with, last month we launched CTC, Coast to Coast Closings, down here in Florida, and we're off to a fantastic start. As I've shared with many of you before, although we are now Coast to Coast Closings, we still have the wonderful Alma Rosario and Jasmine De Leon working with these so familiar faces and a phenomenal new brand that is very, very close to home. So if you haven't, make sure you take a moment to stop by when you're near the Wellington office to say hi to the girls at the Coast to Coast Closings office as well. And next up, join our regional Facebook group. It grows every month, or I wouldn't put the slide up here, because this does make a difference, I realize. We have 85 people that are participating in our Florida Facebook group, which is awesome. It's a lot of regionally significant information, up to date, moment to moment, as quick as I can get it out. The first place I share it is in our Facebook group. So definitely take a moment to join. And of course, here's our regional printed calendar for December. We have a lot of wonderful things going on. However, if you're a LAER Florida agent, you can always pick up a printed calendar at your local LAER Florida office. I additionally, for those of you who do not know, email the PDF on the first day of the month to everyone in the region religiously. So everyone should have this beautiful printed calendar. And next up, I know we talked about the holiday party a little bit, but I wanted to give you guys some other inside knowledge. A big shout out to Vanny Nadal, my unwitting and lovely model. I've used this picture all over the place. I'm not sure she knew what she was getting into when she sat for it, but thank you so much. These are the wonderful t-shirts that we are going to be giving out at the holiday party, the CTC LAER Our Team Slays t-shirts. I love them. They're absolutely adorable. We were also at our holiday party, which is December 18th, 6 to 9 p.m., be enjoying dinner at Okeechobee Steakhouse. I don't know if we all know what that means. It means steak. And if you don't have your steak, I will have it for you. We're going to be having a steak buffet. We will also be having a 2-hour open bar, compliments of Coast to Coast Closing. We are very, very thankful. And our wonderful model, Vanny Nadal, will be in attendance as well. And as if by magic, Stacey and I are always in tune, thousands of miles apart, without conversing about these things. We are having a leveraging ChatGPT class December 19th. I know it is very, very close to the holidays. However, we're going to be talking about wonderful, wonderful things and wonderful ways to get in and start working with ChatGPT, from role playing to understanding the worth of a buyer, the value of a buyer, and communicating that with your clients as well as sellers, to doing amazing things like virtual backgrounds like the one right behind me. You can literally do it all in ChatGPT. I would hire ChatGPT, and I would also marry ChatGPT if I wasn't already married. So very, very cool things going on. Thanks, Daisy. You muted, I think.
I was trying to say, I could tell that Len is trying to compete with you on backgrounds. So he must be using his Chat GPT as well.
I was, but this background that I have now is the one that Farah sent to me. So
Oh, Farah, we didn't know you make backgrounds for people too.
she does.
All right, I think that you guys should switch backgrounds because everybody knows Farah's in Florida. There's no fireplaces in Florida. All right, let's see. I think we basically have everything. We don't have anybody on today from coast to coast because they're all closing transactions. So tons of closings in both New England and Florida. Wanted to remind you, if you want one of these nice closing guides, like a locals guide to a local market, just go to ctcclosings.com/a locals guide. These are nice for open houses, and we could do them for any marketplace. So if you want a 2-page customized brochure for your marketplace, go to ctcclosings.com/a locals guide. It will include your name and your picture and your contact information. So we have some great classes coming up. December 12th, LAER marketing training, December 17th, Loop 1219, leveraging ChatGPT. As always, you can go to our YouTube station as well. If you can't make a live class with all the holiday stuff happening, just subscribe to our YouTube station so that you never miss anything. The system will send you a notification as we add new info. And that is it. We will see you guys all in 2025. And I'll look forward to seeing some of you at holiday parties in the coming weeks. Thanks, everyone.